Hello everyone, today, chapter 4, we're gonna read that in a minute. Let's just recap on the last chapter. Last chapter, I think Luna gave in to her lust and started groping or massaging Twilight's beautiful purple ass. Anyways, now, let's hop right into it. Chapter 4, Twilight lowered her hoof to the ground, done with her massage, and before she could turn, she let out a high-pitched, terrified scream as she was lifted into the air. Her eyes moved all over, stopping on the glow-eyed Luna, and her legs scrambled all over, desperately trying to escape. Princess was all Twilight could utter as Princess Luna quickly and violently dragged Twilight toward her. Luna took a few paces forward and met face to face with Twilight. Twilight opened her mouth in an attempt to say something but was silenced as Luna firmly planted her lips on Twilight. She moaned in fright and shock as she tried to escape, but Luna had too strong of a hold on her, and Twilight was nowhere near powerful enough to counter Luna's magic. Suddenly, though, Luna broke the kiss and stared at Twilight's frightened and teary face. She took and slammed Twilight very violently into the sofa, a tight grip on her still. Tears were streaming down Twilight's face as she struggled feebly. Twilight let out a shriek as Luna tightened her grip harder on Twilight. Her tears became more rapid. "Please stop, Princess. You're hurting me," Twilight shouted, crying uncontrollably now. Princess Luna was relentless though. She wanted what she wanted. She walked forward slowly, a faint glow still in her eyes. This time though, Luna kissed her softly. It seemed as if Princess Luna was finally calming down. Twilight just wished that Luna would release her, though. Dark circles were beginning to form around her legs, chest, and neck. Once again, Luna broke the kiss and stared deep into Twilight's eyes. Twilight was glad as she felt Luna's grip fade slightly, but she still had a tight hold on Twilight. Princess Luna came forward and kissed Twilight, this time on the neck. Twilight couldn't help but blush at the arousing feeling of the princess' lips kissing and sucking gently on her neck. Twilight was only half rejecting now. Her tears had dried and she no longer cried, even suppressing a giggle. Once, as Princess Luna moved over her ticklish spot, it seemed like an instant, Luna had gone from being so violent and demanding to gentle and loving. Luna didn't speak, but she made her emotions clear as she worked around Twilight's neck and kissed a little ways down her stomach. Princess Luna took her free hoof and rubbed Twilight's star cutie marks as softly as she could. Twilight tried to stop herself from becoming aroused because she knew it was wrong, but Luna was doing such a good job, she just couldn't resist as she felt herself begin to moisten between her legs. Once again, Luna kissed Twilight on the lips and continued to rub, now working lower toward her breasts. Twilight tried with all her might to stop from touching herself down below. She had never been aroused like this before. Luna's grip had now faded completely from Twilight, yet she didn't try to resist. Princess Luna shooed Twilight's hoof away from her genitalia and began to rub slowly. Twilight closed her eyes and bit her lips, a deep blush on her face as the princess moved all over her, stopping to slowly tickle her clit for a few moments. It felt so good. It was like Princess Luna had vibrations all over her body, vibrations that made Twilight unable to control herself when Luna pushed part of her hoof in. Twilight was thrusting her pelvis uncontrollably as Luna sped up the pace. She went from kissing Twilight's lips to her stomach as she continued to rub. Eventually though, Luna went lower and moved over Twilight's breasts. Twilight let out a moan as Luna played with her nipples for a few moments and rubbed her clit a little harder. Twilight looked up and was actually comforted by the gentle glow in Luna's eyes. She reached up and moved her shaking hoof passionately over Luna's face, just as the brave knight did in her books. Luna had Twilight laying flat on her back. She kissed Twilight once more on the lips and took her wet hoof away from Twilight's dripping pussy. Twilight watched with an even deeper blush on her face as Luna turned and climbed on top of her. Luna's tight, moist pussy hovered aroused a mere couple of inches from Twilight's face. Twilight didn't have to take a hint as Luna instantly forced her smooth tongue deeply into her. She moved all around Twilight's vaginal lips, kissing all over them and tickling Twilight's clitoris with her tongue. It only takes a few moments for Twilight to return the favor as she licked up and down Luna's vagina like it was the moist, delicious sugar sickle she had ever tasted. Luna had already pulled her tongue out and now was furiously tonguing Twilight's aroused clitoris, trying to keep her royal muzzle out of Twilight's juices in the process. While Luna continued to tongue Twilight's clit, Twilight took her left hoof and began to rub slowly on Luna's hindquarters. As she did so, Twilight took her tongue and began to move it in and out of the groaning Luna at a steady pace. Meanwhile, Luna was using both her hooves and her tongue to pleasure Twilight. She used her hooves to force Twilight open, while she forced her tongue in as deep as it could go. Twilight was gladly returning the favor, eating Luna out as fast and as hard as she could. Princess Luna was sopping wet and had Twilight's tongue and mouth raw from her sweet tasting juices. Twilight tried to lick and swallow as much of it as she could. Luna was doing the same, and Twilight couldn't tell who soaked between the legs the most. Now Princess Luna's tongue was becoming numb. Princess Luna wanted desperately to please her best friend. Freed from her lustful rage now, but still entranced in the moment, she licked harder, as hard as she could possibly go. Luna didn't care about the numbers in her mouth though. Twilight tasted so sweet, and her pre-cum was so stringy and juicy. Luna blushed as she heard Twilight cough after taking a load of Luna's thicker, sweet tasting cum. The two kept at it, licking and kissing each other's soaked pussies until suddenly Luna felt a strange sensation around her tongue. Luna knew that she must be doing something right, so she literally tried to lick Twilight's insides clean. Twilight was now letting out a little screams of delight with every lick Princess Luna took. Twilight's whole body vibrated as she felt her pussy close tight around Luna's tongue, who continued to lick quickly. Luna jumped in surprise when Twilight let out an ear-shattering shriek of pleasure. In an instant, Luna felt Twilight's pussy contract from her tongue, but before she could do anything, Twilight's warm liquid shot out all over her tongue and flew inside of her mouth, coating a fraction of the sofa cushions in the process. Princess Luna surprised even herself when she found that she was licking her lips clear of Twilight's juice. It just tasted so sweet. She was amused though when she looked back to see Twilight back on the job. This mare doesn't tire easily, Luna entertained her thoughts. Looking down, she saw that Twilight's pussy was beginning to dry and tighten. "We'll see about that," she whispered to herself, digging her tongue deep into Twilight. Luna was quite internally strong for a mare. Twilight was wearing herself down as she licked furiously all over Luna's organ. She wasn't going to give that easily though. Twilight took her hoof off of Luna's rump and used it to rub her clitoris furiously. She knew that she must have been doing a great job, for Luna had stopped her licking and began to arch her back slowly. Twilight heard the princess let out a squeak as a small waterfall of cum surrounded her tongue. She couldn't believe that any one pony could taste so sweet. Then again, she is a princess. Twilight blushed to herself as she continued licking at a quick pace. Twilight could tell that Luna was about to come because she felt Luna tighten hard around her tongue. At this signal, Twilight went faster than she had ever gone, a lot faster than the princess had. She was determined to make the princess her friend come. Twilight went from eating Luna's insides out to licking her clit furiously and to kissing all over her lips and back again. She could sense that Luna was quickly starting to give. In an instant, Luna let out a piercing scream as her horn lit up. Books flew from the shelves, tables shuffled, and windows rattled violently as a huge load of her warm cum came fountaining out over Twilight's tongue and face. Twilight was literally coated. It was all too apparent that Luna hadn't been pleasured in quite some time. Twilight savored the moments as she licked her lips and hoof clean, but she was surprised when Luna turned and stared face to face with Twilight. I think I've fallen in love with you, Twilight Sparkle," she said in a voice that was essentially satisfied. Before Twilight could even reply, Luna began licking her own sweet fluids from Twilight's face. Twilight smiled and let out a soft giggles as Luna moved her mouth's wet tongue slowly over her cheeks and down her neck. Luna continued to lick over Twilight's face for a few minutes until eventually Twilight's face was clean. Princess Luna gave Twilight one more kiss before she climbed off of Twilight and stood to the side. Twilight got up and walked over to Luna. They both struggled to stand upright. Princess Luna embraced Twilight strongly, almost collapsing her jelly legs. "That felt amazing, Twilight Sparkle. I cannot thank you enough." Luna kissed Twilight passionately. Suddenly she backed off and blushed, looking away. I'm sorry, I was so rough and handled you the way I did." Luna showed remorse as she remembered her passionate rage. This time, Twilight took her hoof and turned Luna's face to hers. She kissed Luna. "It's okay, princess. I know what you wanted now. I appreciate what you did for me." Luna smiled warmly at Twilight and replied, "Please call me Luna. It's tradition that ponies call each other by name when they are in love, is it not?" Twilight nodded in understanding. Twilight yawned, obviously tired from the session they just had, and looked at the princess. "I'm tired out, princess. If you don't mind, I think I'll go upstairs and get ready for bed." With that, she kissed Luna on the cheek and walked sensually past her. Luna watched with passionate look in her eye as Twilight walked into the next room and began to climb the stairs up to her room. Princess Luna followed into the next room, blushing once as she stopped to observe the mess she had made, silently righting a table which had been flipped as she did so. She didn't know how the new pony decimal system or the like worked, so she thought it best if Twilight took care of the books. The end. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Oh, they got in the 69 position. So beautiful. Alright. Anyways, guys, I just realized something. This is a ClopFic, so if you guys had your dicks out, God bless. And I want to see a comment that you got your dicks out for this shit. I know most of you probably don't like this was Twilight before she became a princess, so this is like season 1 to 2 in my opinion. So they're in the library. Honestly, for me, guys, my favorites Twilight, Rainbow, and Fluttershy. Those are my favorite characters as the sexy ones. The princesses will go there too, but I'm loving it. I am loving it. Anyways, guys, if you have your dicks out, fucking comment, please. I want to know who has their dicks out. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching and listening, whatever the fuck you guys do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. 100,000 stories.